I think the real value of this video is going to hit hardest for somebody who's been trying to learn 3-round liner technique. A lot of you have asked me about my machine setup and the needles that I use. So I've made this video to show you exactly what I'm working with so you can try it out yourself. I mainly use 3 machines: FK irons, Dan Cuban, and Roy Richardson. They go from fastest to slowest. So think about line work and a full black saturation with this FK irons, 4mm stroke, to cotton like pepper shading with this Roy Richardson 5.5mm stroke. I can literally go very slow with a very high stroke, creating this very consistent peppery-like dot texture. And then, of course, my favorite, it's this Dan Cuban Sidewinder 46er. I call it the AK-47 of tattoo machines because it can literally go on any skin type, elbow, knees, and it can put crisp lines as much as do some nice sweep shading. And of course, I use this ink claw battery that I use with Dan Cuban and Roy Richardson, and I'll show you how to set it up just in a few moments. I use 25 or 30 gauge 3-round liner for my smaller whip shading, and I use 35 gauge 35 liner for most of my whip shading. I like to use quadrant 35 gauge 5 and 7 round liners to do most of my line work and some of the heavier black whip shading. I'm also a huge fan of a black claw, straight 5 and straight 7 cartridge liners to do some of the heavy line work, and I also use them to fill in little areas of black. And for mags, I like to use 35 gauge medium taper, either 7, 9, or 15 magnums, just depending on the size of the area I'm trying to saturate. Pre-made needles, I use them with my Dan Cuban and Roy Richardson. I go for Hella Tight 4, Hella Fine 5, and a Hella Tight 7, all foam black claw. Also, black claw carries those disposable metal tubes that I insert inside of the battery grip. Ink claw has 2 different types of battery grips. One for cartridges, those are pretty straightforward, and another one for the bar needles. There is a little bit of a setup for the bar needle battery grip to make it fully sterile. You would need to take this hex key and unscrew the bolt located on the back part of the battery grip to take out the part where the needle goes. I already done it, so this is the final version. Once you take out that part, the tip of the battery grip will also fall off. So I put it on a super glue and left it as is. Once you deassemble and assemble back your battery grip, you can successfully insert the disposable tube inside the battery grip, and then you can lock it in with the same key, just like this. You would also want to bend the bar needle a little bit to apply rubber band so it's stable inside of the tube. Also, Dan Cuban machines come with the armature nipple that you would want to insert inside of the loop of the needle. Sometimes you might want to use a little bit of the Vaseline to make it slide easier. Once the needle inside of the tube, you want to insert it with the machine and tighten up the grip somewhere. Next step is to put this needle on top of the armature bar. You want to make sure you push it all the way down. I use rubber band to secure the needle inside of the tube. And this is how I wrap my rubber band. It goes around the barrel and over the needle. Connect the cable and adjust the tube so the needle sticks out properly. Also, I often hear people complain that when they use this battery grip, this button that turns on the machine, they accidentally turn it off while they're working. What I do is I simply rotate the battery grip a little bit off from the center. And now when I'm working the machine, my finger is not pressing any buttons. And if I need to turn it on, it's right here on the side. Voila! If this video was helpful to you and you'd like to see more content like this, make sure to follow my YouTube channel. I will leave links to everything that I use in the comment section below. Also, I'm planning an in-person masterclass in the beginning of next year. It's a 2-day hands-on event that's designed to help you understand the technique and apply it confidently. On a day one, I'm gonna teach you my full system in building up a successful tattoo, and you'll be able to apply it on a fake skin under my supervision. On a day two, we're gonna work on a real client. You're gonna watch me apply this technique on a real skin and then get a turn yourself. I believe this is the best way to take information and actually digest it through real practice. Of course, space will be limited to make sure everybody gets proper attention. If that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to get on a wait list before the public announcement, fill out the form in the link below.